Thank you for tuning in to KBOB 89.9. I know you are enjoying the vibes and you're enjoying the tunes, but it is now time to tune in to the Black Love Club.
It's the Black Love Club. We on the radio. Turn the speaker up. You could tune in to live, we were vibing, dial into the station, join the conversation. Hey yo, say the Black Love Club is on the radio. You could tune into the live, she was just vibing, dial into the station. Hey yo, yeah, the Black Love Club, we on the radio. What's up and welcome back to the Black Love Club. It is Nikki Talks with the Black Love Club, and I have Richer Roots and Edgar Prime in the building with us today. I'm excited for today's topic. We'll be talking about, can you love someone without financial stability? Right? So that is the topic. Thank you guys for joining in. I'm really excited about today's topic, you guys. It's going to be really, really good. Last week, they were jumping on you, Edgar. They were getting on you. Edgar was talking about stepdads, and yeah, it got crazy for him.
Yeah, we got a lot of DMs. People were saying, man, we gonna find out where y'all studio at.
Oh my gosh, nobody said that. It wasn't that bad. I think we got like some really good listeners.
Some mixed emotions. People loved it, people hated it. Then they said, you know what? I see where he coming from.
We gotta have a conversation.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, but it was really good. It was really good. I think a lot of people appreciated everything that was said, you guys. It was really good. But yes, welcome back, y'all, to the Black Love Club. We're here at Black Love Club. We are here to remind you that Black love is real, Black love is strong, and Black love still exists. So let's go ahead and get into it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you guys, clear my throat. Make sure you guys share the live. If you're in the building, share the live. Let other people know that we're on the air. And you guys, so let's go ahead and get into our first segment of the day. Oh gosh, it had just like went away. But with Voices and Vision, where we're talking about the news that is going on in the Black community and what is being said. Now, first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. And I just want to hear you guys, because you guys are men. But, definitely we are saying rest in peace to George Foreman. George Foreman passed away last Friday. And, obviously that he has been like a big figure here in our community. Just a little bit about George Foreman. He was a two-time heavyweight boxing champion. He was an Olympic medalist and a Hall of Famer. They nicknamed him Big George, and if you ever seen the movie, it was really good. If you didn't see the movie, it's a good movie. We watched it and we enjoyed it. So he competed from 1967 to 1997, and he is considered one of boxing's hardest hitters. In 1994, at age 45, he became the oldest heavyweight champion in the history with a knockout against Michael Moore. Foreman is also known for his 1974 Rumble in the Jungle, a fight against Muhammad Ali, and endorsing his George Foreman girls. So definitely rest in peace to George Floyd. Definitely a great staple in our community, you guys. So tell me, my husband, he's a big boxer, Richer Roots, he's a big boxing, fan and everything like that.
Yes,
so come on, give me a little bit about George Floyd. Just a little bit.
If George Floyd.
No.
If you're not a fan of George Foreman as a boxer, I can almost guarantee you've had a George Foreman grill in your home.
Yeah,
but
we did.
I was teaching my wife some boxing skills one day, and I taught her to find a boxer you like and mimic their style. And she this is actually the style that she mimicked. She mimicked George Foreman. He has a unique boxing style. You know,
that's
so
with the cross, the X.
when she when she picked it up, I knew exactly where she picked it up from. But I said, you know what, I like it. It's working. It's effective for her. You know, never saw a female actually pick that up, but my wife did, and I love it.
Yeah. So, what, you got anything to say?
Rest in peace to the legend.
Yes.
You know, rest in peace to the legend. George Foreman was an absolute beast, and I remember looking back to the Thriller Manila with George Foreman and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And it goes down, and the story is great for the Ali story. You know, the rope-a-dope and him basically just trying to outlast the Foreman in order to get to the later rounds to eventually win the fight. But what kind of gets lost in the context was just how much of a beast George Foreman was.
Yeah.
Like there was zero thoughts that Muhammad Ali was knocking George Foreman out in those early rounds. It was Muhammad Ali needed to survive the monster that he was locked in with.
Wow.
So, you know, you need great obstacles in order to be able to achieve greatness. And so Foreman was one of those all-time dominant boxers. And so and he's also a good example of how life changes and how you kind of change throughout the seasons of your life. He had that boxing career. He had some adversity in his life, but then went on to become a very effective marketer. He had his grills. He also became a personality, wrote a couple books.
Yes.
Very talented man. Did a lot for the community.
Yes, he definitely did. And you had mentioned what did you? Oh gosh, don't worry about me. It just slipped my head. You know, that's why we drink enough water. I haven't been drinking enough water. But no, George Foreman. Oh yeah, fun fact about George Foreman: he named a lot of his kids George. So that was like a really that was just a fun fact. But
and the daughter was Georgia, wasn't it?
Georgia. Yeah, I think it was something like that. But it's a good movie. Watch it. It talks about that. But also, you guys, I want to just I gotta inform our people. So, April 5th, and this has been funny because it's been going around on Twitter. April 5th, they are planning like this mass protest against Trump and Elon. It says protesters against Trump and Musk spring to life with a mass demonstration set for April 5th. As President Trump and Elon Musk continue their plan to dramatically reshape the federal government, a growing protest movement is emerging to try to stop them. Over the past few days, thousands of people have gathered to hear Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont and Representative Alexandria Cortez of New York to castigate the current administration. So, but this is the plot twist, you guys. As they're talking about this April 5th, the black people are saying, sit your behind down and stay home. They said, do not do it. Do not go out there. They saying like big stuff like that, that's planned like that never works out well for us. So stay home. So y'all, but you know, do what you do. If you're big on, I don't know, going out to protesters or whatever, that's not something that I would be doing, just because I feel like we can go about things a different way. But anywho, that's it for the news portion, you guys. But yeah.
Can I throw something in on the news?
Go ahead.
I saw this posted. Marquise Dennis posted it, and Bill 1082 passed on the floor.
Yes.
Oh,
1082
awesome.
passed on the floor,
awesome.
so that's
That's
one of the
awesome.
first steps in actually seeing reform in the family courts. So
Shout out to Marquise Dennis for pushing that, and that is a really good thing. If you don't know what font, say it. What's the name?
Bill
Number?
1082.
1082. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to say 1042. So I'm happy you came with it. But if you don't know what that is, it's basically just to make it what's in the best interest for the child. And we, it's not about custody battle. Like, I'm just going to take the child, but no, it's like, well, is it good to have the child's mother in their life? Is it good to have the child father in life? It does not. It's not to take away anybody and push anybody out, but it's just to do what's in the best interest for the child. And I think that is a big thing, and hopefully other states will follow suit, because I mean, look at that, that's history in the making.
It is. And just to add on to that, so effectively what it's doing is changing the base understanding to be that what's in the best interest of the children is having equal access to both parents.
Oh yeah.
Now, in the event that there's a reason why one parent shouldn't be involved, there's still processes for that. But it's just to change it to the base understanding in the system is that what's best for the child is access to both parents.
That's good. And also, I just want to shout out, and you know what? We talked about Jonathan Mayers like in the last show, but I want to talk about Jonathan Mayers again because he has a new movie out. He has a new movie out, and it's really, I hear that it's like really, really good. First of all, Jonathan Mayers is a phenomenal actor, right? And he's been under fire for a lot of things that he, did. But I feel like we need to go out there and actually support him because, like I was telling my husband, we were talking about this earlier this week. Jonathan Mayers, did anybody see, what is it, the Ant-Man movie with King? Mm-hmm. And how amazing of an actor he is. And if you haven't seen any of his other movies, just go ahead and look at it. But he has a new movie out, and it is, honestly, is really good. It's called Magazine Dreams, right? And it's about a guy who, his dream was set out to be the best bodybuilder. And it's a really deep story, and y'all should just go check it out because, one, we need to support him because we need to let people know that, hey, we still support him. I could care less about what y'all said about him. We're going to support the black man. We're going to uplift him. And, honestly, it's a really great movie. That's what they're saying. It is like literally the ratings for the movie is like really, really high. But also it's a different type of movie. So a lot of people probably, be like, I'm not going to go see him or whatever because of whatever happened. But definitely go out and see that movie. It's called Magazine Dreams, and it's in theaters right now. Shout out to Jonathan Mayers. But yeah. So let's segue, y'all. I'm really excited about today again.
Yes, I'm interested in what you guys have to say as well. I'm wondering how do you guys feel about the topic?
Yes, all right. So yeah, comment below. Let us know how you feel about Jonathan Mayers, and let you know how you feel about Bill 1082. Let us know what you feel about George Foreman. Put rest in peace George Foreman in the chat. Let somebody know that, hey, you know what? We thinking about him. We thinking about his family. We praying for him. Just type in the chat. But let's go segue into the topic. Richer Roots.
Can you truly love someone without financial stability?
Yes.
And I want to know, what do you guys think? Can you love somebody without financial stability?
I think this is a good question for Nikki.
Because I'm the woman, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. Now
I see what you did there.
yeah. Now, so this is the thing. I feel like you can truly love someone. Yes, I feel like you definitely can truly love them. Now, will that lack of financial stability bring in problems? Yes, it would. But you can truly love someone. Thank you, April. Shout out to April for being in the chat. Shout out to Barbara for being in the chat, and Mickey Minnie. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yes, thank you, Herbalist Table. He said, "May the Most High." Sorry, I just wanted to just drop that in there. May the Most High rest his soul, George Foreman's soul. But like I was saying, you definitely can love somebody. Like, I feel when you first get to know someone and you develop that trust or whatever for them, you're not necessarily looking at them as a payday or something, if you really care about this person, right? Now, if you are looking for them as a payday, then you ain't even looking for love. You're just looking for money. So definitely you can love someone, you can get to know somebody, and it ain't got to have that. But it will come probably bring a lot of stress and uncertainty, especially depending on how far you are going with them, if you don't have that. Because
right.
I could love you all day, but look, and at a point in a point in a marriage, or just say let's say a marriage, right? Mm-hmm. At a point in a marriage, you might have some days where you're going to struggle. That does not mean I'm going to get out this marriage because we're struggling. Because we eating noodles every day and boiled eggs. Because that's all we can afford, right? Well, okay, back in the day. So back in the day, before eggs were so expensive, you guys. Because
you got money. You got eggs.
But yeah, seriously. But if you can get through a marriage in a difficulty of a moment where it's financially unstable.
Right.
But at the same time, things can become very sticky if, say, somebody's not pulling their weight. I don't know. What you guys think about that?
Kind of like drop that like hot potato style. I like it. So from listening to what you're saying is you do agree that you can love someone that's not necessarily has money, and I like when I think of this, it makes me think that men the language of love for men is respect. And so the real question to ask, and this is going to be asked to the woman that is in particular, is can you respect a man who does not have money? Because it doesn't really matter about the rest of it. If you can't respect him, you cannot love him.
Wait. Wait. Down.
I think every man would agree with Prime on this one.
Yeah.
I think every man will agree. I don't see how we can disagree with that.
And as a woman, I'm gonna step in. I'm gonna step in as a woman because you made a claim against the women, but I think at a point that can become agreeable because I can agree to that because at a certain point, like I could respect a man who, may have been injured and can't do something, but a man that's just gonna sit there. And it's like, well, what happened? Then that's when it becomes resentment and, you lose that respect for somebody. But it's, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Barbara said she gets to a point and everybody stable said agree. So, yeah.
So I would give a different perspective, too. I would say be careful of the man who doesn't have the financial stability. Because even when a woman decides to say, you know what, I'm going to love this man, he's still going to be dealing with a lot of insecurity because of his upbringing. Because all throughout our life, we've been taught through mantras that a man has to provide. So when a man is in a relationship with another woman and he's seeing other men provide for that woman, but he knows he can't, then that's going to mess with his ego. So whenever you going out, just be aware that his insecurities may flare up. Because when you go out to eat, he not paying for it. I'm just saying, be mindful of that. I mean, that's just the other side of that. I think that's a perspective that women could consider when you are dealing with a man who's not financially stable. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying that's another perspective.
I can agree with that. I think if I was to pull something from everything that we've said is basically at the end of the day, whether or not they have money is one thing, but if they don't have money, you need to qualify the character. You need to qualify the values. You need to qualify, how they treat them, how they treat you, how they treat themselves. How are they viewed by their peers? How do they treat their family? Right. Because that's going to give you an idea if there is something that you can respect, which you can then love. Because money will come and go. But in the same way, you can just search for money and you can get all the money and realize that's just not everything. Right. The same way you can say, oh, hey, he's a really great guy, and then he just sits on the couch. It's levels to this. So you still have to qualify the character. But it's possible, yes. But at the end of the day, he's got to be a man that has something worth respecting, and the woman has to be able to see that and respect it as well.
I definitely agree with that. You got some thumbs up. Chayel said yes, facts, Aga. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. I agree with that. I feel like you have to. April says she agreed, and. Yeah, I believe that. You gotta. Yeah, go ahead. What you about to say?
So this is the Black Love Club. Well, I wasn't saying nothing. You was reading my mind.
Your eyes were saying something.
This is the Black Love Club, y'all. You guys, we are transparent too. So I'm gonna ask a transparent question to everyone in this room right now. And if Uncle Bobby was in here, I'll ask him too. So, have there ever been a moment in your life where you were in a relationship struggling, where either partner was struggling financially, and how did that affect you?
And I feel like that affects the woman more than the man, but
Well,
I mean, I guess it could affect the man from. Come on, let's see.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that slant goes very toward the guy.
Okay.
Well, if you think about it, men, we have a burden of performance, and it's typically at a different level than the women have. The best example of this is if you hear a woman talk about, being independent, they usually talk about things that as men, we're like, that's just kind of being an adult. Like paying your own bills, having a car, having a job, taking care of your house. That's just kind of being an adult. Hate to be the one to tell it to you, but that's just reality. So as a man, you do have, and you kind of alluded to this with your statement about the insecurity, is that is something that kind of goes to your mind. Is this a situation that I'm going to be looked down upon? Is this a situation of, am I being tricked? Is there some hidden agenda behind this? Am I being real? Am I putting on a facade? Those are all things that I think men have to come to terms with, especially if they're kind of in that situation. But it goes to the person in that place, because I don't think you need a lot of money in order to be able to have a good relationship. However, there are certain problems that come without having money.
right.
And so how you navigate those is a different thing. How do you handle stress? If you handle stress by breaking down, by lashing out, well, it's going to be difficult to, be abused and broke.
Right.
So, but in the same sense, if situations come up, you freeze up, you don't make decisions. Well, what's the point of you being here now? If you're not going to help things along at all. So I think it just kind of depends. But from a personal standpoint, I would say it is, as you mentioned, there's just a lot of pressure on it. And so you almost have to fill out a place. But that's why I spend so much time talking about and reflecting. Because in reflection, you can find your value outside it. You can get in touch with your intrinsic value and not necessarily the value of the impressions around you. And when you can do that and you can be comfortable with who you are, you ain't got a lot of nobody. And in that sense, you can be honest and upfront with people. And then if you find some good people, you can rock with them. And if they're not with it, that's cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. Shayel said, can you repeat the question?
Kyle. Yeah, so the question was, have you been in a relationship? I don't know, because that was like off the dome. Help me if y'all can remember. Have you been in a relationship where someone, you are the person you were dating went through financial problems, and how did that affect you? I hope I said that right.
I think it was something close. I think it was close to that, definitely. But in my perspective, I definitely. I only thing I could really honestly go with is marriage, but so.
So she talking about me, y'all. This one's gonna be about me.
But no, seriously. But I mean, we have had moments where we haven't had a lot. Does it bring in stress? Yeah.
Wait, is that what happened to his arm? Never mind. I'm sorry. My bad. It's a family show. My bad.
Oh man. No. But we have definitely had moments.
The cat's out the bag.
Crazy. We have moments where, definitely we have had moments where we definitely struggled. Definitely, I think you're gonna have the moments if you're looking for marriage where, and if you do find it, then perfect. I'm not mad at you, but. Seriously, you're going to have moments where you're going to struggle in one way or another. And financially, we have had moments where money was just a lot of bit tight. And that was stressful because in some moments I would be strong because I understand the stress that it would be on him. But then it's in the other moments where I'll be like, I'm falling, but I don't want to be stressful to you, but I'm probably being stressful to you because I'm stressed, right? So we definitely had those moments. And honestly, I think one, it just caused you to just look closer at each other, closer at your finances and different things like that. But definitely, I wasn't like deuces, because of finances. Like, that's weird.
Nah, it definitely. If I was to go back to those moments, yeah, I think we became more iterable, a whole lot more quicker. But at the same time, it pushed us into a position where we had to like really like think like, is this something like, is that something that I can do to make the situation better? So we started looking at our finances, like she mentioned earlier. We started looking at stuff. We was like, oh, we don't need this. We don't need that. We don't need this. Our financial problems came in because of a good thing. We just kept on saying, you know what, we want to be entrepreneurs. We want to try to take this route. So we were always going on no charted ground, so it's just like we uncharted ground. So we're always trying something new. So that's how we found ourselves in that place. But afterwards, I think we became more stronger. But I would say that was the toughest time of our life. That's why I
Very
think
tough.
this topic is so important, because 20 to 40% of relationships end in divorce because of financial problems. Now, those numbers increase when you go to the black community, because the black community is actually leading the nation in the divorce rate. So, I mean, when you consider that, you might want to look at finances and make sure that your partner's finances, their headspace is in the same space as yours when it comes to finances.
That's true. I think you do. Serenity, she had made like two really good posts. I want to read those. She said, "Women respect men." Sorry, she would say, "Women respect a man with a vision, not always associated with income. If a man has a plan to make money, she can respect that, unless he's trying to be a rapper and sell mixtapes." We ain't
Did she say that?
No, I'm just saying that because we ain't respecting that. I'm sorry.
Nah, some
You-
women do.
I'm not.
Some women do.
You, you could want to be a rapper, but you're not gonna be like, I want to be a rapper and then leave your job and sell mixtapes on the side of the road. Like, we not doing that, like, at all.
But
Like,
what if he was hot?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Food
rap,
has to be
Because
on
I
the
know
table.
I know some people who actually live in that life that you're talking about right now.
And more power to them. But I couldn't. And I'm just saying, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But she also said, I need transparency about finances. If I know that what we are dealing with, I can help you come up with a budget and a plan. But if you keep me from it, I get frustrated and annoyed. And that's a big one. Because, like, you keeping it from me, it's like, who we hiding? Like, why are we getting noodles again? You told me I got $20 to go to the store. You can't go to the store with $20. That is impossible. It's not going to happen. Like, you go to the store with $20, you're not... I don't know. You grocery shopping is pretty expensive. Every time I go, it ends up like $200, and I'm like, where? Where's the $200?
So that $20 is tied. Huh?
man, that $20, that's that all egg diet right there. Just boiling eggs. That's all you did with that $20.
Exactly, man. $20 don't get you too far at all, no more.
Now, this is for the women. Would you marry a man who's not, who has good character but is not financially stable?
Oh,
So
comment
let's
in the
go
chat.
back.
Comment in the
I
chat.
just want to. I actually want to go into details on what I mean by financially stable. So, financially stable is not being able to. It's not a man who's making six figures. I'm speaking of a man who can take care of himself, right? So if he's paying his bills on time, he has a emergency fund for just in case something happened. He's not living paycheck to paycheck, but he's able to take care of himself. That's financially stable. So would you date a man who has good character but is not financially stable?
Good character, but not financially stable. That's a. And then there's only one lady in here, but y'all comment in the chat.
I can ask the men real quick, but I think
Yeah,
the answer is gonna be real quick for men.
Mm-hmm.
Would you date a woman who's not financially stable? Prime.
in most cases, it's not a deal breaker. Nowadays, I feel like you gotta ask a few more questions than we used to.
Right.
So you need to, if she's not financially stable, especially if she has a job, you need to look at what's the spending habits.
That's facts.
You know, what are the hobbies? You know, is she investing a lot into stuff that, one, don't really matter to you, or just in general, like a whole bunch on makeup, a whole bunch on hair. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. A whole bunch of nails, all of that stuff. Like, you spending $1,000 a month on this, and your lights getting cut off.
Oh my gosh.
That don't make sense to me.
Oh.
So
Hey, that's facts.
That's true. That's true.
Hey.
That's true.
because we get together, even if I can fix that issue, you now just gonna spend my money till we both in that issue.
You wait. Let me say you first. Let me
You're
read.
right, though.
Let me read these comments because you said something and brought back something that somebody else said about this. Right now, Kyle said, with a good woman by his side, she can help him with his finances, which is true. Which is true. Serenity said financial stability shows that a man is mature and responsible. We're looking for self-control and discipline here. That is a good one. 'Cause and Barbara said it all depends on the person's background. And yeah, I guess that's true. But to what you said, people really be going through that. Like, we had a story somebody told us, and they were like, man, people be wanting me to do this and that. And it's like, well, what you was doing before? Like, were you doing all these things before? But you have to think about that, because like sometimes women be like, I see it like on whatchamacallit, like TikTok, and they be like, he didn't do this and he didn't do that. Like, he couldn't take me to this restaurant. And you know, this woman I follow, she said, well, were you taking yourself to these restaurants before? Like, were you spending this type of money on yourself before? Then we should know then, okay, maybe the man should take you to this restaurant because you were already doing this, you know, on a weekly basis before, right? Because you were already spending your money. But if you ain't spending your money there, but you just want him to spend his money, then we got some issues. But yeah, definitely. I think women, we are very impulsive with spending sometimes. And yeah, so you can be kind of impulsive, but you do have to think about, hey, let me make sure bills are paid. If bills are paid, then I'm good, right? So yeah, but we have to be mindful of those things. You looking like you got something on your mind.
No, I didn't. Well, it's something always on my mind. But like he said, like Prime said, for a man, it's not a deal breaker. For most parts, in most cases, you'll see a man that say, you know what, she's living with her mother, she's not paying any bills, I'll take her in. But it's never really the case where a woman would say that. That's why I asked the question to the woman first.
Yeah.
But Prime did give a really good perspective. I'm happy I did ask him. Those are some things that we need to consider as men. If you're gonna date a woman, vet a woman, marry a woman, you want to consider her spending habits, because her spending habits are gonna become y'all spending habits, because you're gonna adapt them whether you like it or not.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. But come on, what's the next question? Come on, Richard. What's the next question you got for us?
How much do financial stress impact our relationships?
How much does financial stress impact our relationships?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna ask another one. Do you think that love alone is sufficient to sustain a relationship?
But I think that's kind of general what the whole question is about.
Yeah, it does. Like, even through, do you think love could get people through anything? I'm gonna say that.
Love can keep us
Y'all think
together.
love is the answer for everything? Like,
Somebody said no.
Is love the answer to everything?
yeah.
Is love? They say love is the answer.
Hey,
to
look, I
everything.
quit my job. I was like, forget it. They're getting on my nerves. You know what? My wife loves me. I know she gonna understand. She gonna be with me through thick and thin. So, man, forget this job.
Yeah. Now that your wife might love you. Now, when she asks you what you gonna do next, and you say I'm going to start my rap career, then you're not gonna have no wife no more.
I think that is definitely true because who's doing that?
I think it kind of just goes back to.
But I think I'm a
same
pretty
thing.
dope rapper though.
Yeah, look, we
At the end of the
gotta have the
day,
deal.
you need to have a vision, and you need to be able to. You need to be able to recruit and inspire other people into your vision. Mm-hmm. And so if we were to do it cut and dry and you just wake up one day knowing you got bills, you got responsibilities and say, hey, I'm going to just quit my job and everything is going to work out. No, it's not.
Right.
There are consequences to all the decisions we make, but you may find yourself in a situation where you are, and I found myself in a similar situation, where you look at, let's say, the next 10 years of your life, and you reflect, what does my last 10 years look like? And then if I were to play out the next 10 years, what does that look like? Well, if you find yourself in a situation where those next 10 years look the same, and you miserable right now, you signing up for the same thing. Right. And so that may mean that you need to do a change. But there's levels to this. Sometimes understanding that you need to do a change, and if you can actually talk and communicate with your partner, this is why it's good to actually have that form of communication. You can express those to your partner and be able to get her on board with where it is you're going. Because sometimes it's got to get worse to get better. Hey. Sometimes you're going to have to make a little less money to make more money later. Mm-hmm. But if you take the time to get her on the same page with you, it's a lot easier to make that transition, which is what you may need to do to fix your problems in your relationship, which will cut down on the stress, which will cut down on the frustration because you hate going to your job. You already paycheck to paycheck. Everything's always due. That all of that adds into it. But if you could leave that situation, move into a better situation, well, that's going to at least cut down the fact that you hate your job. That's one weight taken off of your family. Now, the fact that you might be making less, hey, that means y'all might have to look at your spending habits. And that's why it's really good to know your wife's spending habits and to have her on board with this, because she's already going to know kind of what's going on and be like, all right, hey, we might need to cut out going out to eat for a little bit. We gonna just have to eat in house for a little bit, but we can make the best of that because we understand we're doing it during this time, and you never know. Because you're not eating out as much, you spending more time at home. Now you're actually being able to actually engage with your wife a little bit more. You get a little bit more intimacy. Your life will actually start to get a little bit better because you made a change to make things better, as opposed to following out that next 10 years and adding on the resentment. So is it possible? Yes, but it's got to be thought out. And most importantly, you got to have the person on your team on the same page. You can't just do it on your own.
Yeah, that's true.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually getting into one of our shows we have coming up on Is Love, Unconditional Love, Admit. So because of my understanding of love, I do think that love is the answer, right? Walk with me. So if the moment I say, you know what, I quit my job and, we gonna live because I know you love me, is the moment I stop loving my wife. Mm-hmm. But as long as I'm loving her and I'm saying, you know what, even if I quit my job, I'm coming up with another solution. This is me actively loving my wife. So the moment my wife sees me, once she noticed that I've stopped loving her, it's fair game from there. Mm-hmm. At this point, she feels disrespected. She's now experiencing that lack of love. So now it's just like, it's really not about finances. Mm-hmm. It's just like, you ain't upholding your end of the bargain.
Exactly.
So now it's just like, that love has always been conditional. We know it. We just don't talk about it. So now she's like, you know what? I'm pushing back now because I'm starting to see I need to find me an exit plan. Mm-hmm. And it's the same way for men. As long as that woman is loving us, then we're going to be loving them. Some people may disagree. Now, sometimes we can like, as for men, we can remember, because I know Prime is thinking this, we're going to remember the great things that the woman have done in the beginning, and that'll make us hold on.
Yes.
Sometimes that's the case, but that could only go so far, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's true.
Now let me get into the comments. Some people were just responding in comments. Deetra, shout out to Deetra. This is the first time I've seen you in the club. So thank you.
Welcome
family.
to the club.
Welcome to the club, Deetra. So she says that it impacts it greatly. Love alone isn't enough. So she was just responding to the finances thing. They were responding as y'all were talking. People were dropping in. April said communication and growth is key. That was to Edgar when he was speaking. Shayelle said, it is not at all. It comes to a point, boundaries. If we are not growing and not aligning after so many tries and nothing changed, I love you, but nothing is changing. Bills are behind, no money, lights getting cut off, and you're not being intentional and putting the family first. And I think I definitely agree because I could love you. I could love you all day. And I could still love you and walk out the door and, like, hey, I could still love you because it's like at the end of the day, you're not pulling yourself together. Like, so like Maya said, I'll be moving on. But, at the same time, you just go ahead and, you sometimes you have to make those things. If somebody's really not pulling themselves together, look, it's the tough conversations that need to be had. And it's like, look, you better go to McDonald's or somewhere and get you a job because this ain't it, and sometimes you have to give that and you got to be willing. If the person is really not willing, then it's like, whoa, sometimes you got to throw your hands up because, or, or you can stick it out. Depending on it, you can stick it out. I guess it just depends.
Nah.
You stick it out. But
like,
look.
If you to the point where you like, hey,
try to figure out what's the cause.
You. If you go to McDonald's just to make sure the bills gets paid, I'm not going to think nothing less of you.
Yeah.
But if you won't even go do that, we need to move around.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. If you're going to stick it out, don't complain. Don't complain because it's not fair to the other individual because that person is y'all going to be in a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
If you decide you want to stick it out and complain, y'all going to be in a toxic relationship.
It's going to be terrible.
So if you stick it out, every day you with that person, you made that conscious decision to be with them and accept everything that comes with the territory. So don't go complaining to your friends about it. Don't put your information on social media about how much you don't like it. Just know it's gonna be a hard walk in the park for both of y'all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because you can't have that expectancy on somebody. Like, I expect them one day they're gonna do good. It's like now you're throwing all that potential there. It's like sometimes you do have to step out and be like, look, I love you, but I gotta let you go. And I believe there's a song that says that.
Oh, Miss Barbara asked a good question. Then we're gonna go into prime time with Edgar Prime.
Yes.
She said, What would you do as a couple if you had a boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, etc., that always complains that bills is growing? Would you continue in this relationship? It depends.
What would you do if your girl was there?
I'm going to say this. All right, crying on the floor because he's hungry. Now, I'm going to say this. You know what? Edgar Prime brewing up. I'm going to let him go. Go ahead. I hear you.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to say this. So it depends. I'm going to say as a man, if the man is complaining about bills that are like regular bills that are growing, like he moved in with you all of a sudden and now the water bill is higher, electricity is higher. These are natural bills. If that's the case, then he really didn't count the cost. So if that's the case, you might want to, just kind of slow things down and reconsider whether or not, this is going to be a situation because the longer, he's just going to just build up resentment towards you, and you don't want to be in that kind of relationship. Now, if this is a situation where, the complaints are legit, you may want to actually just sit back and consider whether or not you can contribute to it. And you want to actually be mindful of how they complain. Now, if it's a man and he's complaining and he's respectable, how he complains, he's like, you know what? I didn't realize that, coming into a relationship with you was going to cost me $300 every month for a weave, $200 for makeup, $400 for shoes. I didn't realize. This is legit.
Yeah.
So if it's legit, you might want to hear him out. I don't think that's something to just get all crazy about. But in any other case or scenario where it's like realistic stuff he's complaining, unrealistic stuff that he's complaining about, then Yeah, he's not ready for this.
Yeah, definitely. Well, y'all, we about to segue into prime time with Edgar Prime. We got him on. All right, y'all. So he sent the video, and we're gonna pull that video up, y'all. So we're gonna see how this roll out. Let's see. This is my first time doing this. All right, y'all. We never did a video before, but hey, it might work. So he got a video. Y'all check this out.
We can't hear it.
Okay, I was gonna say I
Yeah.
couldn't remember if
Y'all,
it had sound or not.
it kind of showed a little funny. Let me just say this. It kind of showed a little funny. Because I guess it was a social media.
It was a
video.
reel.
It was a reel, and she said she couldn't hear it. But basically, I don't think there was nothing but music in the video. The lady people was on the subway, and you could better explain this.
I'll
Go
explain.
ahead.
Okay, so effectively in this reel, there was a black woman. Excuse me. I don't think you actually see the woman's face during the video, but all she's doing is she's in the subways in New York, and she's walking up to random guys who are sitting on the subway, knocking on the window, getting their attention, blowing them a kiss, walking away and waving. And she does this to about 3 people in the video. Now, why do I bring that up? I'm typically the bad guy, having the conversation that we don't really want to have. But I want to take this time to celebrate and say this. I know that there's a lot of black women who are soft, who are feminine, and who are quality, who are looking for somebody. And there are black men who are ready to find those. And so, but what I want to discuss is that the perception of the black woman nowadays is so aggressive, so combative, especially when it comes to topics that relate to men, that we're very divisive. It seems like we're always against each other. And what I love about this video is it shows a woman just showing kindness and tenderness without getting anything in return. And I think that that's really where the power in femininity is that if you think about it, as a woman to a man, you as a woman, you're talking to the beast. And you really need that man to be a beast, because that's how you're going to get the most out of him. That's how he's going to be the most passionate, the most driven, the strongest, willing to run through anything for everybody, is if he's still a beast. But you got to be able to talk to the beast. You got to be able to calm him down. You got to be able to get him on the same page. Because if he's out of control, everything shuts down. Everything goes crazy. So just a way of reeling in the beast. And so I think especially as women, and this might take more of the sisterhood deciding to reach out to each other, those softer ones, to grab them other ones who getting a little crazy, whose necks is going wild, getting aggressive with everybody they see, and just saying, hey, we don't got to be that way. You know, I can't think of a single situation I've ever been in with a woman where if she took a soft approach, she wouldn't have got better results out of me. I can't think of a single situation, because the only thing aggression breeds is defense. That's all that does.
Facts.
That's all it does, is breed contention. But as the softer you go, the more men are going to be like putty in front of you. They are going, this is how you get guys to protect you when you out at the shopping mart by yourself. You got to be nice to them, And so I just wanted to highlight this just to say that there are good examples of women walking out there, and just understand, on the internet, social media, only the loud ones are going to get online. Most modest, most reserved women don't like to be out in front of microphones talking to a whole lot of people, sharing all of their business. So you don't get the same limelight as the loud ones. But with that said, if you got sisters, friends, cousins, start pulling them to the side, because nowadays it's hard for men to tell the difference. And so, if that means you got to cut circles or just start checking your homegirls and your sisters. But at the end of the day, as women, if we can just reflect on being more softer, just try and take the softer approach whenever you get that intention to fight back. Just think of how can I do this in a soft way. It'll change your life.
Hey, yeah, that's facts, man. That's power in femininity. If you didn't get anything out of what Prime said, man, that's power in femininity. And I respect you too a lot for just you calling the man the beast. Because in a time where, we got words like toxic masculinity, where men are looked at as a beast, or, a monster, or, the feminine image of a man is being praised. This is the era that we live in. And for you to just so comfortably, say, what, women, you have the power to calm the beast. But you want to respect that nature of that man, because that you don't want to diminish it, or you don't want to get rid of it, because
if I could help you, you don't want to dominate the beast. That's the lie feminism has taught women, is that they think the goal is to dominate the beast. If you dominate the beast, it becomes a pet. And if you wanted a beast to begin with, now you gonna resent your pet because it's not a beast. You got to calm the beast, soothe the beast, but you can't dominate it. If you're trying to dominate it, you're going to end up with something you don't want.
Y'all heard that? Y'all got to stop domesticating y'all husbands. Y'all be domesticating y'all husbands, and then when it's time for him to go and fetch some game, he can't fetch the game because he domesticated now. He like, man, pat me, rub my belly, roll me over, give me some treats.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, he needs you to take care of him now. Once you domesticate an animal, they can't take care of themselves anymore.
That's true. I just wanted to speak on that because, one, obviously, I follow a lot of women who are coming out and talking more about modesty and being soft and different things like that. Now, it kind of go a little crazy because some people relate the soft life to luxuries and stuff like that. But I think most of the time we do have to recognize that it's being more feminine and being more soft, so that because one, there's a book I read, and she was saying femininity is power.
It is.
Being soft is power.
100%.
Because I can demand anything that I want just by being soft. And she was saying, and that's the strongest power. It's the loudest power. And even in the way that we dress, because I notice when I go places, 9 times out of 10, people are going to respect me. People are going to, admire me because of the way I look, because of how, well our kids are, taken care of, how respectable they are. So it's like all those different things. You have to be just so mindful of that, because people are looking and people are watching, and definitely assumptions are being made. And if you're dressed a certain way, a lot of times assumptions are being made. So we have to be mindful of that. I always think back to, the 60s and the 50s and how well we dress, even before that, just how well we dress and how well we carried ourselves, and I think women, we need to come back to carrying ourselves, that there is so much of power that you have when you dress well or when you carry yourself well. When you go in these places, people are going to respect you, regardless. They're going to respect you. They're going to want to hear what you got to say. And that's one, because you look important. You don't look like anybody who is this with the pajamas on and a bonnet, and it's like they already assume that you might be a little loony, she about to pop off, so, and even if that is not you, that's how you can be perceived, and perception is a big thing, and it's a normal thing. It's natural. So it's just we have to be mindful of those things. So I definitely just encourage the women just to, check into that, because the girls are becoming softer. The girls are covering up. The girls are, doing these things now. And I hate that, we make things a trend. But definitely, I'm happy you put that, because that was a beautiful video of her just doing that. And when we do that, just like men, I feel like men, I don't want to say that, but men do carry a lot. They carry a whole lot.
Yeah, that's
and
facts.
I feel like men, especially the black man, go through so much in this world. And when we just look at them and just smile, Just smile and just,
It's huge.
it's
Yeah,
a
it
big
is, yeah.
difference, because most of the time we, got the little eye roll and the little neck roll, like, why you looking at me? But if we just smile at everybody person you meet, that's the part of just being soft and being feminine. Just smile. Just smile. People love that, and people that'll resonate with them, and y'all. But I just definitely wanted to. I'm happy you brought that up because
Yeah.
that was definitely
Yeah, that was
something really
beautiful.
big. That was really really big.
And I didn't actually even mention the men, but the other side point. Could you maybe drop that link in the chat in case
Yes.
actually people could see it?
But-
But the other thing I wanted to point out is if you just look at the responses from the men,
Yeah.
like there wasn't an exchange, there wasn't an expectation of getting anything from them, but you just saw like it really impacted each and every single guy that she did this to, and so. There's I don't like to talk about a loneliness epidemic because I think that's kind of misleading. But what I will say is that men don't get near the appreciation or attention or affection that women get, and it can at times be a very kind of a lonely place.
Yeah.
And so if you can take that time, especially in your community, I'm not saying don't put yourself in any sort of a harm's way, but if you can be softer to the men around you, it'll be better for you and everybody else overall.
Definitely, because they reading that energy.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all, we about to go into the wrap up.
Let's wrap it up.
The blackout with
We gonna
Richer
black it out.
Roots.
So as we conclude, I just want to answer the following question. What advice would you give to someone that is in love but financially unstable?
What advice would you give to someone who is
I
in
would
love?
tell you, you're not in love. You're financially unstable. Go get your priorities in order, and then go get in love. That's all I'm gonna say. That's gonna save you. You don't want to go into a serious relationship with one of the biggest daggers that can possibly destroy your relationship before it starts. So I would leave you with that. Start over. Go work on your priorities.
Man, he was a lot nicer before you told him that rap career was off the table.
I know.
Man,
yes,
that got
yes. I wasn't expecting him to say that. I was definitely thinking he was gonna go somewhere else. But yeah, get your priorities in order. I mean, for men, definitely. I don't think
100%.
any man wants
Yeah,
to.
I'm speaking to men. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and women, just hold out, and make sure you're spending the money on yourself first before you ask the man to spend the money on you, and you ain't even doing it. So because if you can't do it, then he shouldn't be able to do it either, right?
Yeah, Prime said you hurt my feelings with my rap career, y'all. I was gonna put out my album next week, but
I mean,
guess
you
I'll
can
go
do
back
it.
to work.
You can do it as a side hustle. It can always be on the side.
Hey, yeah, I wrote that intro too, y'all. So I mean, if y'all like that, yeah,
I can't. With
I
him.
gotta defend myself.
I can't with him, y'all. But
Man, you can't defend yourself with one arm. You done already taught her how to box.
Dad, you know what, Prime? I think you the one who really attacking me.
you know
I
what?
think it's you.
Prime didn't say it. I done broke his arm and everything.
I never said that. I just asked questions.
He insinuated. But yeah, no, they say they love the show today, you guys. But I just want to let you know that remember, black man, we love you. Remember, black woman, we value
We love you.
And
We
black
love you.
child, you are golden. And until next time, y'all, we'll see you next week. Peace.